Hey, Teach.
Hey, how you doing, Linda?
Good. How did it go this past weekend?
Well.
Good.
It was a lot of fun. Uh, you know, good to see a lot of brand new faces I never met before, and get to see the face that went with the artwork,
Yeah.
and that's really cool. That's really neat to see that, and met some old buddies that were there and stuff. So hung out with those guys, got to catch up with them a little bit, and just a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. Like went out and painted a little bit. I mean, they had a wet paint competition, so I tried that. You know, which is fun. It's fun, but it's not what I'm known for. So anyway, it was fun.
Good, good, good.
Yeah, yeah. How about you? How you doing?
Good. I just was looking, I was just on Facebook and a friend of mine up in Ontario near Ottawa just posted his eclipse pictures and they're just fabulous. And
Ooh,
here we only got about 65%. So
yeah.
we we didn't get a very great eclipse and I didn't get good pictures of it at all, but yeah, it's really seeing some of these is really very cool.
Where are you?
I'm in Jacksonville, Florida.
Oh, okay. No, you didn't get much. I mean, I'm
Oh,
in Pennsylvania and we got 80%, but wait for it. 15 minutes before it came by, it
no.
clouded over. It got
No.
totally cloudy.
Oh no.
Oh, didn't get to see
Uh,
anything. I know.
my son was at Purdue. I think they had like one of the best coverages you could get there.
Yeah. I know
So
Indianapolis was supposed to be total eclipse,
yeah, that's
but
right where
yeah,
he was.
Purdue they must be, yeah.
So yeah, so yeah, he was pretty happy about that.
I know what he's doing tonight.
I know what he's doing too. Well, maybe he will. He's not like a big sports guy, so he
But
might not care.
they've got to be
Like I
so,
care more than he does.
yeah. They got to be so excited down there,
Yeah.
up there.
Speaking
Yeah,
of
you would think.
speaking of Purdue, Jim, this is Lori. I'll be cutting out early to go watch.
You got to watch it too. You a Purdue girl?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Well, I'm
Oh,
I'm
really? My That's where my son is.
I'm a
Is from.
Purdue
Well,
mom.
not from there, but went there too. Boil up.
Oil up.
Okay, hammer down. Anyway, good. Yeah, I understand, Lori. Keep us up to date in scores and stuff. You would too.
Okay.
Anyway, guys, we had some really great paintings just last week. I'm sorry I couldn't get back to a lot of you guys on on fixes right away and things like and critiques, but a lot of you didn't need it. You guys were right there. Um, I didn't do much of this. This is pretty much all from last class. Didn't do too much more. There's some areas here. It could be a little darker. Probably just look a little light right now. It's always good to see and get it. Get that second, day or get your eyes a break and then look at it and come back and you go, oh, what was I thinking? But it's okay. It's not too bad. I mean,
That
just some
that was
little.
interesting with the umber because I didn't have burnt umber. I had raw umber, but I don't think it made much of a difference. But in watching your video yesterday, I watched it maybe the first hour and mixed the paint, and then I had to go out and do something. I came back 2 hours later, the paint was already claggy on the palette. That's how
It
quickly it dried.
hmm.
that's Yeah, that's because it's made out of clay and
Oh.
it's just keeps sucking oil, and like anything, any other mixes it's with, it just sucks them up.
But that was an
So
interesting thing because I really liked the way it mixed. Like the colors I thought were even better than some of the other ones we've done, but you need to paint with it right away.
yeah, you do. You need to paint with
Yeah.
it that day. Um, and that's why I usually use, I find it in roads and you find it in some buildings, and I find it's an interesting color. And they say that's one of the main reasons, like a lot of these old classic paintings are cracking. It's because they used a lot of burnt umber in them, and it's like one of those colors just kind of just keeps sucking everything in. So it sucks in moisture and stuff like that. And that's why they crack after, 100 years or so. But it doesn't, it's supposed to not really do that much to a panel, but it does more with a regular stretch canvas. So I work on panels, so what do I care? Anyway.
James, James.
Yes.
It's Margaret. I have a question for you.
Hey, Margaret.
Hi. I bought.
Did you get a total eclipse?
Yes, we did. And it was beautiful. We had a clear sky and it was really, really nice. Yeah. I saw
Good
colors in the in the sun as the moon was eclipsing in it. And I guess not everybody was seeing the colors, so I don't know if it was the glasses I had but it was really neat.
You weren't
long as
wearing glasses. I just burned my eyes out. No.
Yeah.
As long as I can still see tomorrow.
Did you indulge in any gummies before you went outside to look at it?
No, I didn't. No.
Those
That's what my
Canadian
daughter
gummies?
Those Canadian gummies, yeah.
That's what my daughter was saying. I said, no, it's the glass. But anyway.
She's just seeing good color these days.
Yeah. I bought some phthalo green, and it's deep phthalo green. It's darker than the other phthalo green I had. Is there
Really?
something I should do to make it a bit lighter prior to mixing it with the other colors?
For me, I want to keep it as dark as possible. Just keep it.
Really?
Yeah, I like it like that. You might add just a little bit of blue to it. I mean, if you want to get that blue cast, I have, because there's is phthalo green on a blue shade or something like that. So it has just a slight blue iridescence in it. So
Okay. I've got blue phthalo green. Would that be? I find that's
Blue.
quite blue, though.
you might be able to mix both together a little bit, probably come up with the right color.
Okay, I'll try that.
Or
All right.
close to it. I would say
Okay.
that's probably be a good way to go.
Okay, I'll try that. Thank
Try
you.
half and half mix.
Yeah.
You never know. You might have come up with a nice color. Anyway. Yeah. Okay, here we go. I got a little goofy one for us tonight. It's a church scene. I'm not sure what church or what denomination or anything like that. This is from one of my friends over in England, a hill walker. And whenever they go out hill walking and stuff, they always end up walking by some of these old churches, out there. And they just stop in for a break, and she always takes a few snaps and stuff, and stuff. There you go. That was for
on my 4 drinks of wine there.
you. Got to guzzle. Anyway, what I saw on this was light. I just loved the way the light was coming through and the way it was working through the place. And I thought that'd be fun to capture. It looks like it could be kind of tough, but I don't think so. I think this is a kind of a relatively easy one. Famous last words. But let me pull it up and we'll talk about it. I got a few things to show you guys on this one. Let me see, do I have to? Well, oh, well, right off the bat, there's the lady I was talking about. If we wanted to add somebody in here, I put this nun in there. I don't know why. Just because I had a photo from when we were in France. We went to a church and into a church, and she was still cleaning up afterwards, and she was walking around. And I took a picture of her, and so that's why I grabbed it and cut it out and put it in here, saying, well, maybe, and maybe it's an idea, maybe it's over the top. I don't know. Let me get to the one I wanted to show you. It looked like they all went in reverse, came in reverse. Okay, here's what we're going to do today. It looks tough, but this shows you that it's relatively simple. This is 1 point perspective right here. This is all the lines, all the basically lines that go back into to the horizon, all line up and all end up at this 1 point right here, basically right by that candlestick, or no, that right by that cross. Right there is where they all meet. And you get everything from the pews to any of the moldings, any of the ceiling stuff, any of the angles on the walls. You know, pretty much everything goes back to that point. It just starts, and so if you just point your thing to that 1 point constantly, you should be pretty good. That's how I can go so fast, because I kind of know where that point is, and I just can stick my brush and kind of, angle it to make it go back to that point. So that's, basically how we're going to be doing this. We're going to be taking the drawing method and things on this to go back. So, all right, let's see what this next one is. That's the one we're going to be doing. Okay, yeah, this is another way to look at it too. These are the horizontal lines of the church. And as these are straight across, I mean, very straight, parallel with the bottom. And you can see distortion-wise, very little till you get near the top. So everything pretty much goes straight that way and back to a point. Straight, anything that's goes with the horizon or goes parallel with the horizon goes straight, and everything that goes back to the horizon goes right to that dot. Okay. Lastly, to look at this, some spots here. This is would be a 3 point perspective. If you were looking at this and you were trying to get the upward, you see sometimes you see these shots from real low and you look up and everything goes up to a point. That would be like 3 point perspective, where you're looking down and everything goes down to a point. So it's a 3 point perspective. So if you go straight up with these vertical lines, you can see that most of them go pretty straight. I mean, there's not a whole lot of distortion going on, just a little bit over here on that banister there. This one too just goes in just slightly, but not much. Even the window back in here, you can just see that it doesn't do anything. The middle of that window won't do anything at all, because that's pretty much where everything comes from. But you can see it over here on the outsides of this, on some of this paneling, that it is starting to slide in a little bit. And so, but the point of the third point, the 3 point perspective, this third point would be so high in the sky, probably in the stratosphere or something like that, because these lines would all have to meet at that one spot, and that would be so high up there. So I don't do that. We don't have to do that. We can fake it. Just go pretty much straight on. Don't worry about it. It won't make a difference. A lot of times, we want to keep it loosey-goosey anyway. So just that kind of a little bending will be fine. But just understand that, that would be great. And then here it is all kind of put together, what kind of happens. And so you see the spider web of perspective going back and coming straight up and then going straight across where things go. And if you look at this, you can start to see how things kind of pattern out. In this photo, that there are some pretty equal lines going across this thing up top. You can see that, well, I got a little bit of this cut off a little bit, but these squares and stuff are be pretty square. That means that a lot of things are, kind of graphing out for themselves. So people who graph out this thing should be able to do a pretty good job on it pretty quick. But if you don't need to graph it out, you can just almost figure it out, just this equal proportions pretty much. All right, let's go back to the picture itself without the nut. You don't have to do the nut. I probably won't do the nut. I was kind of not thinking of it as a real big figure. I thought she was going to be a little lot softer and probably not mean as much. She probably doesn't add anything to it, in fact. So let's not worry about her. Let's talk about light. As you can see, that light coming in from the window over there. We can't see the window, but we know what kind of window it is. We can see the pattern it's causing on the paneling and going across here and shooting across to the lightest spot in the painting would be over here on this wall by this, is that a baptism thing? I'm not sure if that is or not. But you can see that's the brightest point in the painting. So that's a good thing to notice. It's way over here. The light, really hits this guy hard and barely hits this guy at all. There is this little spot here on this bench that it's getting hit. I'm not sure if I'm going to put that in or not because it is just kind of a weird little spot. Otherwise, everything else is pretty simple. I think what I was trying to say too is when I was laying this out, I was finding that for me, I was going, these spots here were the exact same size. These lengths from this spot to this spot were the exact same. To here was the exact same. To the middle of the window was the exact same spacing, and to the outside of this window and to the wall. Almost exact same spacing. For me, I was looking it up and I'm going, I'm doing like a 12 by 16. I'm breaking it down. It's like 1 and 3. Each one of these are 1 3/4, 1 3/4, 1 3. I think right in here, just a hair tighter, about 1 1/2. Then goes back to 1 3/4, 1 3/4. So I figured that was pretty cool. And then I looked at the distance here going down, coming down here, and at 5 inches, for me, 5 inches, breaking it on if I was doing a 16 by or 12 by 16 at 5 inches, that was there. Another 5 inches was the bottom of the table. So that just helps me think about how to lay this thing out quickly and get things moving for us, for I can waste all this time talking about it with you guys. But here, back where we go. Okay, color's really good on this. I know my printout went really dark down in here and really dark up here. So this is like when a great monitor really helps out, you can start to see that this up here is not quite as dark as you think it is. And down here is a lot grayer than you think. Yeah, this is like a number 9, and this is probably like a number 9 too. It comes down to about 8 onto the sides here. I'm going to be thinking about color down in here, trying to get these banisters here and here to work with the floor, not to be just slightly darker than that floor value. So that's going to be a pure thing. So I would say I'm going to probably be a lot of phthalo green again, guys. Phthalo green and alizarin and these guys, because I think alizarin's darker than the oxide red we'll be using to do the floors. And up here, I think it's going to be about the same thing with phthalo green. I'm going to look at that green. It might end up being cad red, mixing in with the green, and then really pushing the red as it comes down, and really pushing it, taking out the green, making a reddish orange there. But you're going to find this color here is probably going to be that color for that wall too. So it's pretty simple. So that area will work. This whole thing will work out pretty fast, painting wise. The hardest thing will probably be, putting in the little stuff. But that's all comes at the end. We're going to catch the big stuff first. You're going to catch this angle here, and we're going to catch the light coming in, break it down into shapes coming in. That's all you have to do. Break it into shapes. Even if you miss, you don't do a great shape, make the exact same shape that it wants. No one knows. No one will know. No one even knows what that shape is really. So that's the thing. We get a lot of leeway on this one, so we can move pretty quickly. Again, the brightest spots over here, that one is probably right around 2. But everything else is going to be right around, 5, pretty dark. It's going to be probably 7s and 6s. I think this color of the inside here was still like a 3 or 4. It wasn't as bright as you looks, but just because of everything else is so dark, it's coming across light. And it does have just a little bit of gradation from the top to the bottom. So that'll be to look at. I think everything else is pretty self-explanatory. I mean, we got just a few spots here where we got some really nice oranges coming through. And I said, like this spot here, if you're going to do that spot, you're probably going to, make it something, make it a little bit bigger than it is, because it's too small there to not look like a mistake, and look at these highlights into the wood and stuff. Okay, that wood is red, as on the red side. The sky reflecting into it is on the blue side. So what color do you get when you mix red and blue together? You get a purple, right? So this is really good. Highlights are going to be, red, just a little bit white, purple. That's all they are on that thing. So anything you just think of the light. What color is that light? And you can figure out pretty much everything really pretty quickly. So just this first part right down here, the floor, just going to gradate it from dark here to a little bit lighter value. Very simple over here. Probably no gradation at all. Darken these guys in. Then we'll darken in these. Darken in that. Darken in that. And we'll be done. Ta-da!
Jim,
We got a Picasso.
it looks like that's maybe a kneeler that's covered in plastic or something.
That could be. Right in here.
Yeah, can we do something like I think it's just sort of confusing. Maybe just do the outline of the kneeler and not that plastic covering. I don't know. What do you think?
If you want. I'm
add anything.
Yeah, I wouldn't know what that is either. It's easy enough to just go get rid of it too. You can steal all the information there, put it over there too.
Yeah.
It was just for me, it was just something slightly different than on the other side. So it wasn't quite the same, but that's okay. Yeah. And there's a little plaque thing here. It looks like too. Don't worry about that. Or that's not a plaque thing. It's probably his pedal or thing too. Probably. Maybe or more. Maybe this. I don't know. And the picture back here, that's a good thing to look at. That picture back there to work off of. How dark that is and how much information you see. That's all you're going to need. That's all. You don't need a whole lot of information on things. Even when you get, up here to the top here, you don't need a lot of information. You don't need too much more than a digging in with the brush there for mark. Even in this stuff here, I'm not even sure if those are butterflies, going in there or some other thing. But at least, that's probably the toughest part of the windows. Don't worry about the X's and the crosshatch there, don't waste your time. It probably would be better just to, paint it in and then put the dark stuff over that one. All right, I think I've wasted enough time. Yes, it is time to get to the drawing board. Let's go over and mix some paint.
We were all rooting for you.
I was rooting for me too, but didn't make it. Yeah, thanks. Those things are tough to judge, and that was such a good show. Just to be in it was really pretty something. So it's not that big a deal, not really, not that big a deal. You feel bad and you go home.
Oh, well, you can't win 2 years in a row. Come on.
I can't. Well, I can't win it again. That's the whole thing. I can't win that prize again because it was too much. They only give it to the Midwest Artist of the Year type thing. So, I got it last year. I can't get it pretty much out of it. I tried. I kissed ass as much as I could to the lady, and she didn't take. So, oh well. Let's go over and paint. You got to do it. I tried to do everything I could.
Well, they should make you a master.
Oh, I might be up for it, but it doesn't really do much. I'm not too. Who knows? At least they know who I am. That's the best thing. I'll tell you guys some more good stories though as we get going. Let me pull this up again. Oh. All right. Just my regular palette, pretty much cad yellow. Titanium white, some cad yellow light, cad red light, cad orange. Got some that gold ochre here. This is let me get that out of there. In my palette, and still left a big old chunk of dead paint. This is oxide red light, and behind it is Terra Rosa. Just in case, like my paints are still in my suitcase, I decided haven't done anything, so they got home. So they're still in the suitcase, so I had to use what I have here. So, but I have all the colors. This is alizarin crimson, or if you are a Rembrandt guy, this is Rose Madder Deep, permanent Rose Madder Deep. Cobalt blue hue by Utrecht. Phthalo green. Green blue, I guess. Phthalo green blue. I do have some oxide red, transparent oxide red out. Just kind of like for burnt sienna, because I'm using in place of burnt sienna. So, and then I get some other leftover colors. Not going to talk about. Big brush, the big brush here. Still pretty good. Just haven't used it since last week, and it's still really good. Some other synthetics, smaller synthetics, regular things. These are like number 10s. That's an 8, and that's a 4, 6. Bristle brush would be good to have for maybe some of the wall stuff to get some texture into some stuff. And stuff. So like that. Okay, and then my little paint eraser will come in handy to dig out any problems I may come across. So we will get busy. Let's mix some colors. We're about halfway through this class. You guys should know my colors by now. I should not even have to mix these up. I shouldn't even have to tell you what I'm mixing up. But I will ask you, what am I mixing up? All right, I need I need this color for these banisters. Where would I use, Lynette? One of my darkest colors. She's not listening. She just ran off. She's going to watch the game. Okay. All right. I'm going to start off with. I'm going to go with blue. In fact, this time, start off with some blues and alizarin. I kind of find this as being one of my darkest colors. So I like to have it one on the blue side, one on the. That's what I was thinking. Maybe, I mean, because I know those colors are really dark. But also to hedge my bet, I'm going to do it in green and alizarin. Same thing. Alizarin and green, which is another really dark color. And sometimes you can put since these guys are darker, I can put them lower on the pedal, on the banister, and I can bring it up with a little bit more green, a little more heat in it, even though it's so subtle. That might work. So one on the red side like this, and one on the green side like that. The green one I would say would probably be on the top because that alizarin is so cool, but it almost pushes back behind the green. Gonna need a couple other greens. And this is gonna be for the floor probably. End up being in for the wall maybe in the back. I'm gonna put up 4 of these because I know I'm gonna need a couple different reds in here. Warm reds. Okay. So I'll go with oxide red light with green. This might not be the best color at the beginning. I think when I add white to this color, that's when it's going to fall into the right colors. And one thing again, keep one side on the green side, one side on the red side. And that's where this one is supposed to be just a little more green. And I was thinking this would probably be for the floor, mostly for the floor. This photo is really pretty dark too. Okay, one more green out for this next one. Now I'm going to go with cad red, mix in a cad red. So I'm thinking that these two share, you know, a common bond of redness here. I'm being warm and I'm thinking that they go together so well that I can switch back. I can use this farther back on this wall back in here and bring it down, and it should work out pretty good. And I might be able to use this too, or maybe up top. I'm going to try that, but I'm also probably going to end up having to make one orange too. Yep, just a little bit. That's how strong that cad red is. That's a good. Okay, so you can just see. Yeah, you can't see anything in these colors yet. Okay, a couple other colors I want to do. I'm also gonna do one more here for green, orange. While I'm at it, cad orange and green. Probably more orange, a lot more orange and green. It might not be anywhere. It might be just be able to shove this in there. I'm just thinking on the walls and stuff, but it has to be, this value has to be really closer to this. So I am going to have to add a lot more green to it, which I might not ruin what I did with the orange. I'm just going to leave it. Leave it as a green. See if I don't know if I can use that now. It probably should be more ochreish. We'll get there. We'll get there. We got other kind. So those are my dark colors. And pretty much they can do pretty much 3/4 of this painting. Really all I need is, well, I do need one more red. And I'll be just doing some reds. Phthalo green. I mean blue, alizarin, alizarin and some oxide red together. Let me see if that's, it's just a little cool. It's a little red, needs to be warmer. So maybe a little more cad red. No, that's too red. No, it's too red. I'm gonna put some green in it. Both these, gonna put a little bit of green in, just because of the gray them out. Take the red out, and now they can fit in there easily. This red one I just kind of killed a little bit too much. This cad red one right here. Put a little more cad red back into it to warm it up again. All right, so that's 3/4 of the paint we need. We just need to lighten these guys up, and we'll be able to get a lot of things out of them. So let's just split these piles. Amount of white today, like I said, this painting is very dark. It's probably around an 8 or a 9. So that's like hardly any white. I mean, that's this one dot of white to these things. And we'll see if that works. I can see this. I can see the color. Great. Okay, this guy. Hopefully this guy will gray out a little bit. Maybe we need some red in it to gray it out. Hello. Okay. So I add a little bit of white to each one of them. Oh, wait. That's not a little. When I get that color, that's not too much of a little. But I'm always find that these cool kind of purples go with wood. Really, you find them in the wood. Wood paneling and wood, floors type things. Pretty good. I mean, you find that kind of purple goes with brown pretty well. Basically, because they're almost have the same makeup, except for purple doesn't have any yellow in it. If it had yellow in it, it would be a brown. These are phthalo green and alizarin. Just not much white. I'm adding probably too much white. That's better. Yeah, see, boy, it take much to ruin that. This is oxide red and phthalo green. Just a little bit, do you? These guys probably don't need any, but we have that color up there, so we do need to add something to these guys. I figure these guys will these two colors probably gray out enough that we can use them, like I said, on the walls and on the floor. Definitely on the floor. This is the floor color. That was with the cad instead of the oxide red. This is what I was thinking about would be for for the wall back there. Probably not enough red showing through. I'm gonna get this one might take a little time to work together a little bit. White and greens. This is didn't do what I thought it was gonna do. I think it was cad orange and stuff. I can probably do it now. This is the wood and stuff. It's probably not gonna be right. Yeah, that needs to be warmed up a lot. So just put a little bit in. Definitely. Let's start with the wood, since that's so kind of screwed up. Definitely need to add some cad orange into that color. Let me put some cad orange into these guys. Yeah, put that white in there, and I going, I should have just put cad orange in instead of putting white in. That should have been what I should have done. But that's not bad. It's okay. It's still good. We're still there. What's that coming? That's not bad, in fact. Yeah. I'm gonna put a little cad red into it, back into it. Just not rich enough. That white just kind of took it out a little bit. That's pretty good, in fact. Probably just could get richer. Okay, I'm gonna leave it there. Let's go back to this old green here and add some yellow to it, cad orange to it now. Because there's no, I'm not gonna use this green at that, like that anymore. But if I can, what I'm thinking about for this wall here, that shady wall, and adding enough orange to take over this green a little bit with that white knocking it down. And it's working. It's working. Okay. Now, these colors here are going to be wall colors. And they, as they come down here, they turn very red. So I would take a piece of each one of these kind of greens and stuff, and we're going to add cad red to them. And see what you come up with. Sometimes you might be able to use it in the darks or something. I'm not sure. There's a lot of warmth back there. And you can see that how that can go into that area really nicely. So that's just cad red into these oxide reds and phthalo greens. And this is cad red and phthalo green. This is the color I was thinking was just going to keep coming with red enough that I could get this right in here. So just by ending up putting tons of cad red into this color. And this is just on the green side, probably never going to get there. We're just going to leave that there. That's not bad. And that might be a better solution for this red up here for this paneling back over here on this side, the dark stuff. That's really close. Where these guys, since I put white into them, kind of just missed it. So cad red, phthalo green, tons of more cad red into it. And let's just leave it there. I just want to have an extra pile, just in case I want to do this up here. This would be a nice color to kind of come over top of the other wet paint and kind of just, put it in its place and kind of pull it together where you can have some fun things going on. So yeah, a lot of the red, browns and stuff are going to come out of there. Greens and stuff. The floor is going to come out of these greens and reds. So is the roof. The roof I can come out Probably
What
need
do
to be
you do
using
with those
purple.
purples?
Excuse me, which purples?
Well, all of them, the 4 on the left.
These 4?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is blue and alizarin going into these 2.
Yeah, what are we
And
gonna
this
use
is-
for?
You know, I don't know. I was gonna eat it maybe. Nothing else. No, they're gonna go. They're gonna go in this front banisters here because of their dark. They're the darkest colors on the palette, right?
Right, okay.
So they're gonna go in any of the darkest areas. The roof could go up there. I think
Right.
the roof is gonna end up putting a little more red into it
Yeah.
because
Okay.
I want it to do some things. And then yeah, everything else should come out of this pretty quickly. Any of these reflected lights on the sides of these panels going down on from in here, I think that's just going to be some colored, one of these gray colors going over one of these colors. That's all it's going to have to be. I think that's going to work out well. Okay, let's get the last few things here. Definitely need a little bit more light. So we're going to have some yellow light. I'm going to go with white and ochre first for my light. For one of the colors, I'm going to need probably a couple colors. This kind of goes a little red. Mine did. I'm going to add just a little cad yellow to it. Warm it up. That'll get me going in there. And then I'm going to need probably to go to almost straight white and a little bit of cad yellow as my final little touch of color. Maybe more yellow yet. There we go. Just going to leave it right there. All right. I'll probably be using this color here over here, this one with the ochre and white, pretty much to do anything about lines and or any of these highlights on most of the stuff. Will probably come from that color or a mix of it from that color. Okay, then the window. Definitely got blue up there. We got some blue greens, got some pinks mixed in there. So it's not going to be a total wash of a gradient. It is going to be pretty bright. So blue and white first to value. And then I'm going to just add just a touch of green to it because I can see as you put this, you can see how cool that is compared to what's going on there. So that means just a little more phthalo green into the color. Warm it up. A little more than that. So you get something like that. And then probably tone this guy down the same way, just add a little. This is going to be my lighter area. Just needed a little more green to it. Too. Here we go. We'll use that. Couple little things like what I was talking about before. Highlights being a little purplish, pinkish. So if we took some of the sky, piece of the sky, take a little piece of like one of these red, reddish wood colors we're going to use. Push those two together, and you should get a purple or a gray. Should be on the one. Rather have it on the purple side, so that means more red.
What are those two you're doing now?
Right now, I'm doing highlights for wood, lines here, here, and here. And so I'm taking the sky color and I'm taking the wood color and I'm mixing them together to get the highlight color. And it's really close. I know it's on the red side. So I might take steel, a little more cad red to it just to make it read. So you get this kind of a gray, grayed out purple. And you can use that for pretty much, you're going to find it everywhere on this thing. Even if we're going to put in this plastic, you're going to find it pretty close to that color. So if you want to do it, you don't want to do it. And to get this guy real quick, just a simple mix of colors here, two together to gray them out, to warm it up. And you can get all the colors for that guy. Anyway, I'll go through these colors now. I think these will be enough to get us through to the game starts, and then we're all done. Anyway, up here we start off with our really dark colors, and they are just alizarin and blue colors. One's on the alizarin side, one's on the blue side. I brought them down, but this is still, these colors are so bright, and I didn't want to, waste all my paint right away by adding a lot more paint into these guys. But now I can do it. I'm just going to put some more blue in, more red into these two colors. Oops. And get them down there a little bit more, because they are, the white that just went in there just blew them out of. We'll go with that for now. So the next one over here is this phthalo green and alizarin. And you can see it there and there. I just see it on the banisters. That's all I think. And into the floor, that kind of stuff. They'll be into the shadows. Just got to put it down, get it into places. Up here we have, again, phthalo green and oxide red. And I just ran so much in that one. I want to rebuild this one up. This one's on the green side, that's on the red side. Coming down, you can just see the warmth and the grays. And then down here, I added a lot more, some cad red to them. So this is where I started getting some paneling colors. Like, oh man, wasn't thinking I was going to get that much red out of into my greens and be able to get a nice kind of a nice warm red that's going to work compared to these guys where I've worked with the reds. So that was nice to see. Over here we have cad red and phthalo green together. Coming down, you can see where the green just overpowers the red right over here when you add white. But I was thinking back here on the back wall too, and then coming down and using it more and more. Over here we have phthalo green cad orange mixes. And then I added some red to it, cad red to it, because it was just too green, wasn't doing any good. Brought it down here and I add more white to it. Then I add some more cad orange to it, lots more cad orange. What I was trying to do is get, well, I was still going for wall colors. Over here, I was thinking more wood colors, things like that. So I was starting off with alizarin and oxide red. And that worked out okay, but it wasn't really the warmth. It got a lot of light red into it. So I went with the oxide red and cad red together, and then mix these guys up with white. Over here, we just simple light colors. This is white with yellow ochre mix. This is white with just cad yellow into it. This is white with blue and phthalo green. This is a little bit more blue and phthalo green added to it for the window. These two colors are interesting. This color is like a highlight color for a lot of the wood areas here with the cool reflections in them from the window. So we took blue sky and we took some wood colors and pushed them together to get this kind of a mauve kind of color. And then I also looking over here on some of these highlights on some of these wood here and stuff. It's catching a lot of light. And if it's not this white ochre mix, it's going to be have a little bit of this blue into it as it goes back across. It's going to have a little bit of this purple in it. So I mixed the two together and got this kind of off taupe color. Will work great. That's about it. Any questions? Okay. I am going to use transparent oxide red here for my my tinting color for the painting. I think even that by itself would probably be really good in this wood. So let me go back and let's get going. Any questions? Okay, no question. We're moving on.
Jim, I have a quick one. It's Lisa.
Hey, Lisa, how are you?
I'm good. I'm not painting. I was tardy, but I do have a question. Had I been painting this on my own, one of the first things I would have reached for to make that oak, that warm wood, is burnt sienna, but you haven't been using that very much in any of your paintings. Is there a reason?
I like to make, just make things hard on myself.
Okay.
That's all it is. I just don't like to, it's because everybody else would go there. I don't.
Ah,
Contrary Mary, I guess. I just want to do, I can make it myself. I can do some other things. I mean, that's what mostly people do when they do like a, limited palette anyway. They make it themselves really quickly and stuff. You can do it so easy with oranges, yellows and reds and just a little bit of blue. And, you can make it. It's not a big deal. I'm going to bring it in as close as I can because I'm kind of painting kind of small today. I'll probably have to bring this down a little bit too. This might be a little bit too much. We'll see. Okay. Well, it's good to hear from you, Lisa. Okay. Oh, also, guys, we are almost full for France. We got like one, maybe two spots I can squeeze in left if anybody wants to go to France yet. Otherwise, we're pretty full. And, you guys are just going to have to hear it for all of fall. Complaining about not showing up. It would have been fun. So oxide red and oil to tone this canvas. I don't have my clips with me, so I do have some tape. Let me tape it up. Here for you. At least I can point to it. Okay. So yeah, I'm just going to tone this whole thing. Probably if you keep it a little bit lighter in the middle where the light is. The thing is, remember that is off center. So this is a oxide red. Transparent oxide red, right? It looks just like a burnt sienna too. So yeah, I didn't do any mixes with this color. Why? I have no idea. I just didn't see it. So I just didn't do it. Nothing more than that, really. Just I didn't. I mean, yeah, it might be right over here in this corner, right in here. It might be really strong, and it might be really good up here. But you know, who knows? That's why I'll rub it in like that. This color will get into everything though, and if I do, you know, does get to the point where like, man, that color could be great in here. We might throw it in. Okay, it's one of the things I did learn at that conference or the convention, seeing other people paint. There are no rules. We make our own. We've been making our own rules a little bit, and they're more suggestions or guidelines, right? So you can get to do things. You can have things leading your eye off page and stuff. You don't worry about it too much, as much as you think about it. But you know, you do, as long as your painting comes up to your standards, that's fine. All right. Laying this out. Like I said, 1 3/4, 1 3/4, 1 3/4, 1 3/4, 1 3/4, you know, 1 3/4. Whoop, move that one over, move that one over, move that one back. 3/4. That means that's that wall area. That's a little short. Looks like it's a little bit longer. I think it goes, well, my measuring sucks. All right. I guess one of the things is to first decide is that perspective point. And so to get to that point, to where that everything goes back to it, I need to lay out the horizontals here first, where things go. You know, step here, and then up to the bench. How it's a difference that is. Okay. So this bench can go up just about right there. Okay. Right in the middle of that bench is probably right there. That means the spot is right next to it. It's right here. So everything goes back to that point. Everything from this bottom floor panel here.
What's the blue brush that you're using?
This is the same. It's just one of the packs of 3, those jumbo brushes.
Craft brush?
Yeah, that craft brush. Yeah, it's just one of the packs of 3, isn't it? Why? Didn't you know it? Didn't you get the memo?
No.
You didn't get the memo on what these brushes. Okay.
I don't think so.
All right. I will send it out. Send you out how to get them if you want them. So everything, like I said, comes from that point. You know, even the walls, even when you get to these the paneling over here, you get that big edge here. Let me get that. That's about twice as high as this. So that goes there. That's that line for the, and that tells me right where everything else goes. Yeah, I had somebody lined up to give you guys a perspective class. If you guys are still interested, in one, how to do perspective, at least the ideas behind it.
Yeah, I think that would be great.
Okay.
It's
I
something
could
I
keep-
always struggle with.
Yeah, me too, Jim.
Well, yeah, I was aiming for you. I know you mentioned it once before, and I have a friend who has taught it before, and would do a lot better job than me teaching it because I just eyeball a lot of the stuff at the end, but I do know, the basis behind everything. But
Once you pointed out that point, it made a big difference.
yeah, I mean, pretty much anything that goes there should go, line up. That's all it is. Even the middle of the build thing right here is in perspective. So, and then these top ones. And that's the thing about two old buildings like this, yeah, you can, they do warp and stuff, so they're not going to be perfect line and stuff, but it's okay. That window's a lot skinnier. It's probably not that high. I think I'm going to bring it down to there. And right where this angle comes down and starts to go straight down the window, that's right where that crossbar right here, well, it's kind of not really a crossbar, but that's where that is. So. Oh. That's that. Okay, I was right. I was cheating that back. Okay. And then it comes over here. That is pretty sure shallow. Okay. But just knowing a little bit of perspective would be always is a good thing. It was never fun to do in college and stuff, so still got a bad taste in my mouth. All these years later, I still don't like it. So, how high this thing goes. This thing goes up almost up to here. It goes almost halfway up the window. No, quarter of the way. So these guys gotta come up. Basically touches this molding here. Which probably could be a little wider. So right there. Okay. This is going to be probably end up being the toughest little area. These two pieces here. Getting these guys to be kind of the same. Okay. All right. Like I said, I'm not even going to pull out the highlights. I will pull out this stuff though. I don't want to. Don't need. I got a lot of white, clean blue paint that's going to go over this, and it's. Might as well keep it clean, and we'll go in cleaner. So next week we'll be painting some kind of animal. I do have some new koi from my trip. That was really nice. Big old guys too. I mean, these guys are huge. So I painted koi in a Saturday class not too long ago. But I didn't paint it with you guys, but a few of you were in that class, so we can do something else. It's no big deal. All right. This will be about it, and then there's this table over here. You can put it in, you can take the plastic off, and you can just take this all the way across. Take this I think Linda said it was a kneeling bench and stuff. So I don't know. I'm not too worried about it. It's one of those decisions I can make at the end, see what I need. I'd rather just get a move on, right? All right. At least there's only two of those guys, or three. Well, shoot, I didn't draw them in. Oh, I thought this is nice. Only two of those. And I know they're talking about the main things of the painting. So, and how do you get these guys to line up, right? You take the top here of these banisters or ends of the things, and you run those guys straight back to that dot, that tells you when you get to the end of here how high this banister has, this side of the bench or has to be. That's where that top has to end up being. That's the perspective. So that's going to be right there, has to end up right there. Same over here. Touches the ground just right there.
Sorry, can you say that again? I wasn't paying enough attention what you just did with those second set of banisters.
Oh, come on. That was beautiful.
No, I know.
That was beautiful. No, basically you get that first one in.
Yeah.
And you take the very top spot and you draw a line back to your dot.
Back there, that's what I thought. Okay.
And then visually this thing just has to come up, and that's where it touches. It has to touch it. That's perspective. See, I figured this would be a great class for this kind of stuff. I mean, even though I'm not the best at perspective, I just know how to fake it. And that means all these panels or anything like you see a little bit of light glints on these panels or of the benches here and stuff. Same thing. They all go right back to that dot. So if you can find the right distance fake it and get it there, you're done. That's all it is. And, you know, it just helps speed things along. All right, let's start. We start with our darkest colors. These guys are probably a little thin. That looks a little thin. Okay, then I'm sticking them out. Okay. My darkest colors, again, I'm going to start off with some alizarin and blue. No white at all. It's just going to go right through these top colors. And I'm just going to go up this thing. It's going to feel purple. Hopefully this brown's going to mix in a little bit. I'm going to do it on both sides. Probably maybe a little bit more blue on this one just to make it different. I'll bring some blue into this one over here too, I think, though. But what was that?
Oh, me. Sorry, I gotta go again.
She blew something off there. Ah! All right. So I'm just pushing that blue back into this thing to darken this one guy up a little bit. I'm just gonna make a triangle on top. And come on up. Not gonna worry too much. I'm just gonna get that part done on it. Okay. I'll look over here, down here too. I'm gonna. This probably won't need to go this dark. I mean, won't be this color, but I'm gonna get it in here while I got this dark on my brush. I'm going to switch to the phthalo green parts of this, the phthalo green and alizarin. Yeah, that's almost even darker. I might be able to use that more in this front area then. At least the top part here. That's kind of cool. Letting some of that other purple show come through here. This is probably just a little wider. These are transparent colors, so they always take a little bit more work to get everything off them, to get all the streaks out, stuff like that. Get a little bit of a glare here going. I want to get on the green side of this color now. And just come up this other side of this banister over here. So it's kind of like a purplish green right now going in here. And these guys over here on this side, it just seem a little cooler. Like I said, these guys should be pretty much straight up and down. I've already messed that up. Gonna go definitely on the green side of the browns here. Might even start going with some of this oxide red into my color here. And get this these banisters back here with just a little more red little bit more green to them in the shadow areas of them, even though that, you know, not a lot there. In this part, again, phthalo green. And this is oxide red? No. Cad red. No, oxide red, yeah. But this is on the green side. Coming down. Get out! Are you okay? Okay. I'm not sure what that was. Okay. So I am going with just a little more, just the phthalo green and oxide red mix. Yeah, this brush, since it's so long and it's such a straight line, I can really, you know, can put it here and just kind of almost aim it and create my lines a little bit easier. Okay, so that was phthalo green and oxide red, and still phthalo green oxide red. Because I'm going to do the floor, start getting this floor in. And the only way you're going to be able to tell these banisters from the floor is just basically this. You can just feel the warmth, the change of red in the color. And I can use this pretty much for this whole bottom of the painting here. I'm going to take it up to about halfway that way. Then if I drop down to just where I added just a touch of white to it, and it's on the red side probably. Should be on the red side. And I can start that white way back in here, and I'm going to just, as it gets to this other mess here, basically it's non-white color, no white in it. They should mix up pretty well. I should get a nice gradation of color here, but I don't want a flat color. I don't want it flat. So I'm leaving it a lot of strokes. I'm not trying to, you know, make this really clean. Now we're just going to leave that there. That takes me up to that step, and then I can just go back to the very dark color of it and put that back in, no white. Probably go on the green side. It was just a little bit of a little too warm. Not much. Yeah, just wiped out that whole thing there. I'm just going to leave that. Well, I was thinking about going back here and just getting to the wall. We got really close to it. This color is the cad red version of it. Just has a little more cad red into it then oxide red. It's cad red with green, phthalo green in it, and that's just for this carpet back here underneath the bench to the wall. It has just a touch of redness to it, so that'd be good. And I might be able to bring down a couple strokes here. In that front area there might be nice. I'm really thinking this is going to be one of the colors too that goes over these banisters or these panels here in front. So I'm thinking I might need this one darker too. Before I keep going and stuff, I'm going to darken in this guy a little bit. And I'm just using phthalo green and alizarin. Maybe it should go. Here's oxide red and phthalo green into that color. It didn't really do any much, do what I was thinking. Probably gonna do it on that side though. So this is phthalo green, oxide red on the oxide red side. It's pretty strong. You can really see the red in it. If I take my brush and lay it flat against that banister and just drag it back here and just let the paint just, you know, dissipate on its own. Just slightly blend it in. Don't want it too perfect, but a couple good strokes. I'm going to bring it over here again and put a little bit. Maybe put it in this one too. That just that red purple against this with this warm red really does everything you want in the color. All right, I'm going to start going in the back here and let's get this back panel done. Don't worry about these, where these tables go and things. I'm going to go here with oxide blue, wait, phthalo green and cad red. And that's what I was using almost with white. Just a little bit of white here at the bottom of right back in here. I was putting in that. Now I'm going with it back home to its home value with no white in it. And it's just a little warm. It's a little, but I want it really kind of dark yet. Bring that up where it has to go. Okay. That is almost right there. That's almost the exact color I need on this painting right in here. Kind of a little greenish. I think it's because it's mixing with this. It's mixing with this oxide red, transparent oxide red. So it's really close to what I need for almost all this stuff back in here. So maybe I didn't mix up the right color. Maybe I should have been oxide red, transparent oxide red. Or burnt sienna, if you have burnt sienna. I don't know. Anyway. So bring this down, this line down for the wall. I'm just gonna rub this in. That's still the same colors. I haven't done any much to it. It's just phthalo green and phthalo green and cad red. Just gotta take it to that area. Cover up this whole top. just to get the dark in there, and then I'll just lighten it up. And just rough it in over here too. Okay. That's getting a lot of reflective color. Okay, I need to go back probably. I'm gonna really try to see. This is blue and alizarin. I'm not sure if this should be cooler or probably going to need to be warmer. Maybe we'll mix up with this oxide red, this transparent oxide red in here already. Give me some darkness here. That's almost a purple. Should be more of a red. Maybe I put some oxide red in my color here. Gray it out a little bit more. Yeah, that's much better. Oh, look at that color. I'm going to keep using that color. Okay, this is going to be, and just adding, if you have oxide red or burnt sienna, mixing it in with the first two colors of blue and alizarin. It's a really kind of nice dark wood color. That's what I was thinking right in here. This is when I was putting it in here. I go, that's a nice, that I can see that wood tone come through there. And I go, that's probably almost exactly what I need for over here. And like I said about the light pattern and stuff, don't worry about that. Get these edges here, this crown molding. That's really nice dark. It's nice in between. Like I said about this too, it's pretty much, these guys are pretty much straight across. Don't have much to do there. I'm just going to take this down. So that's why I mix up all my colors, is because I can pay attention to what's happening here, and you get lucky and just, some of these colors just fall out of the, become the right color. You can pay attention when it's happening. You can save yourself some time and effort. So, that was nice. Okay. I'll probably end up being in these guys a little bit too. Then it's probably some of these darker areas here. Really kind of rich tones you get. Okay. I got a couple more spots for that though. here. Okay. That was quick. I'm gonna put in the start with getting this color right. I'm also gonna look at this wood up here in the very top here, these slats that come back down. And they are phthalo green on the green side and oxide and the cad red. They can be, they don't. Soften the edges for everything up here. They don't really want too much information up here. Okay. Yeah, that's that phthalo green. Now I'm going to go with just move on down where I use more cad red to it into the color. As I come down and stuff, I'm going to start to break it into a more of a, from a green to a red. And just soften up here to just a blur of color up here. You can leave one side like this side a little bit darker too than the other one, so you don't want them too even. But then as I come down though, I do want to really make it more red. That's why I was leaving a lot of color underneath here. Some little space here to start to bring in the cad red version of it. Might not be quite as red as it should yet either, but it's better than it was. Probably gonna have, maybe I can always add some cad orange into it. And you can see how good this brush is. I mean, this is just ideal for interior type things like this, because you got that straight line for these things. Really kind of nice. Now that red I just put in here, now I can bring it up to this side of the wall. And it can lighten up this whole wall up here. And the thing is, I'm gonna keep it loose. I don't want to add a lot of more texture to it. I'm just gonna leave it really light and strokey. So even the brushes, the strokes, I mean, just really light and let it go. And I can lighten it up as at the bottom here. But you can start to see the light starting to come in. And it's always neat to see that happen. Okay. I'm gonna pretty much have to kind of change plans here. Go a little bit cat orange in my brush. I'm not getting what I was. Oh, wood colors, but I don't have the right one. Usually, so I'm going to start putting it. Yeah, well, that's pretty good. That's really pretty good. Might be just a touch of cat red into that too. Red and orange into this. That see, that's it. Red and orange together. Really, to get that one light on this back wall right here. You know, if I was doing this right though, I would have been able to, carve out this this banister at the back end, this pole. I would be able to get it just right. I wouldn't be having to go back, touch it up. Oh well. I'm just going to make a few strokes here. Really gets okay. Leaving that one spot, I'm going to put in some almost pure cad yellow into that spot first. Trying to get it pumped up. Okay. I think that's going to probably end up being like what we do on a lot of this wood over here too. Is that same sort of thing, adding that in. Seeing a little reflection in the cash light against going across this carpet here. Just dabbing it in. Before you wipe it off, just see where else it can go. All right. Okay, it's working out okay. Probably I should have probably tone this stuff in too. This dark stuff in. That is just blue against phthalo green and cad orange, cad red right there. I think I'm just going to darken in this back panel a little bit too up top here. Come down, I can go a little darker up here. Get these. Guys, one more time. I just didn't get enough light on them. So I'm adding just a little bit of cad, mix of the cad orange and phthalo green with the white mix into my cad red colors. Let me get this thing straightened out. The brush is kind of falling apart. We'll pull it together again. I'm just going to put in these rafters here a little bit. I'm thinking this side over here, I think it's reflecting a lot of this wall into it. So it's really almost the same color. There's a little darks in it though. Starting to get there really pretty quick. Everything up here too. I'm gonna leave it soft. Don't want anything to really jump out, edgewise. So it's soft wise, everything's really kind of blendy. Just basically it's just a difference between a warm and a cool value. That's the only difference I'm trying to get across here. Trying to get the shadows in just a hair darker before I, correct the color perfectly. This is coming along right here, about the right value, right color. It's a lot of value, more value than value and temperature. That's all you have to do. You can be wrong on color. You just got to be right on everything else. Okay, one last one. Okay, now that goes to the bench. Okay. Well, there's your interior. Now, if you want to, I could put in that. Here's that painting. That goes. Not much there. All right. Well, let's put in the. Keep going, I guess. I'm gonna go back to my darks here. Which one do I have here? I don't even look at it. Should be a Lizarin and Phthalo Green. Just doing the foot on this thing. Means this one gets a foot. Oh, I should start seeing some red on that thing. Let's see what that happens. Dirty brush and grabbing some red. Oh, my. Now, most of the stuff when you do details on things, anything like this in the back, if you can put it in with one little stroke, you're fine. Don't get too caught up in making it look perfect. It's really hard to do with a big brush too, make it look perfect. So, okay. The more it gets into the light too, here, things get into the light, the more the red's going to start to take over too. So more red into that color. So I'm going over to my phthalo, my oxide red light with CAD red in it. And start to introduce that on the edge of this guy here. Maybe I will probably end up being at the top here too. But he's going to start getting it a lot into this guy. And I'm thinking I'm about at the edge of this brush, the detail part with this brush. I can go back in here and start to get a little bit of more opaqueness into things. Okay. We're getting there. This is where you start to find out you only need a couple of sharp edges in the whole painting. Everything's supposed to be mushy. A little more color in this up here. Coming down, darken that area. Now let the highlights define everything. Just going back in and looking at these shadows one more time. They should line up straight down from each other. And it's starting to clean up on its own. Okay. Just leaving a few spots here kind of blank for that. While I have this brush, I'm going to do the big things, get them out of the way. Put in the table. Definitely look for a really good, strong red, dark, cad red, or not cad red, sorry. Alizarin and phthalo green on the alizarin side. I'm just going to get this. Everything runs parallel, so I'm just going to get this bottom of this leg here for cross beam here that goes across this thing. Start with that as my point of reference. How high I get to go up, I go about halfway on it back there. Give it just a slightly warmer top. And just a tad cattle red to it. Over. Looks like it's a lot thinner. Anyway, do that, and then I'll just put in the rubber banisters here, lying straight across. That's where this brush is just so great because it just can hold, just do a tiny line without pushing too hard. Just gotta get the paint to stick. Not gonna do any more there because that's really dumb. Because I gotta hit that light. I haven't hit it again. Putting a cross beam in across it was not the smartest move. Oh, well. But it's getting there. I'm gonna have to switch to a little bit smaller brush now. I wanna start getting some of these richness in here. Some of these reds and stuff that are really strong right in this, that beam there, or that thing. As it comes down, just fades a little bit. Okay. I don't look too bad, really. I mean, it's off by a little, and that's okay. Don't like this brush for what I want to do next. Rosemary. Start putting in some of the highlights, the yellow highlights up there. Well, let's get those guys in. I might even pull those out. You know, just to make the color go in a little bit cleaner. And this is where you can like get the light to step over things. So instead of when it goes across the bar there, the light dropped down. So this light up here stays up high. This then when it comes across here, it drops down a little bit. Then it over here, it catches up to that first one here. So light comes in, just turns over. That was not good. Fix. So same here. In there, and it kind of steps up for this thing to this edge. There's this one up here. Pull the light out. And pull it out of here too. I'm finding that's pretty close to what I need almost too. Let's see. Let's see what happens when we get here. I'm just pulling out, especially when you start putting on these little things back in here. The table still should have came over this way. cleaning up everything before I can put in some light. Make sure everything's pretty good. See, anyway, I don't think I had mixed up that light, did I? Let's see what I have here. I think I'm gonna go with cad yellow and cad red together, making a kind of a nice orange, but then have enough yellow side of it that I can, it's kind of intense, almost yellow, almost yellowish. Clean out this brush, make sure everything's out of it. Or I should just switch brushes. Switch it. Let me stay really clean. The yellow orange, basically, really almost cad, just a little bit different than cad orange. A little more yellow into it. Kind of get these spots on the edge here first because those need to be cleanest. Almost too yellow. A little more red to it. Let's try it again. Closer. That's better. Back to the orange. Ooh, a lot of yellow in that again. More orange, more cad red into it. And then use muscle memory to go over that a couple times. Darken it in. All right. That whole section's almost done now. one last spot. White. This is that cad yellow and white mix. Finally going in. Finally, last little spot. Really looking at that shape. You can see that shape it made, that light made here. Just like kind of repetitive throughout the thing. There's a little more yellow in it. All right, I'm going to put in the blue in the window, and I'll put in everything else. And it should be really close. There should be, you know. Yeah, there's a couple spots here need to be darkened in and stuff. Shouldn't be that bad. This might be too bright. Putting it in, I can just go, yeah. Too bright. What would I do? Put a little red into it, gray it out. Gray it out. Yeah. So I put a little bit of, what color was that? Red and phthalo green and cad red mix on the red, really red side. Kind of going in here. I'm not getting that angle right. I'm not going to worry about the any of the stuff going through in the window right now. Let's get everything else done. Okay, I bring this color down. And lighten it as the kit goes down here. Again, add some red to my color. Maybe a little more pink on this one side. When my brush is all kind of pinked out and stuff, I'll grab some of that highlight color I made up. That purple, you know, using the blue sky and using some of the wood tones together to make the highlight colors. Happy accident. Okay. Really, I mean, just get a few of these candlesticks and things on here. And then put on these things and a couple streaks down the windows. And this one's done. We're 3/4 of the way there. So let me just start put in a little couple candlesticks here. Now I am putting on a highlight on that bench, the top first. Again, a lot of mix of cloud or mix of light reflecting on it or the sky reflecting on it. But then right here on the front edge, there's just a little bit of sun that hits right there. Probably happens on these banisters too. A little bit of light on the top edge of these, or these things there. So okay, yeah, we're gonna go with that. Smaller brush again. Put in the last little things. Put them in a little brown, I think, first. Too dark. And these guys are just like that car we did last week. Putting in this stuff. Just getting a big section of it. And then just the small highlights. That's all you have to do. I'm going to go with the ochre white for my highlights on these guys because I don't want them too strong. You know, even that might be too strong, but not bad. Brush just throwing a little bit too much. A little teeny brush. This is all I would do on these guys if I can just, you know, draw these points and just a few little highlights here. And catch the light. That's all I want to do. And that's just a, boy, that would have been good if that would have been just a hair darker. It's a little too bright for the spot. Anyway. Well, let's see what you guys are doing. I'll bring you guys in for a close-up on this. All right. This is all I'll be doing is going around and putting in these final back these details here. But I'm going to try to keep the looseness going. This got a little bit off center, so it's a little, I'm going to redo that. I'll bring it in. I still got a windows put in. So as much as easy as I thought it was going to be, you know, it's still there. That's probably roof's just the area up here is just a little too red. Now need to be toned in. Just try and make it, but I did find out another color by using it, so looks a lot better from here. So let's see who wants a show. Turn on your stuff.
Hey, Jim, I'll go.
There we go. Mike's up. Way to go, Mike. Ah, good job on that. You got a good space going. You got the, you know, from the front to the contrast from the front going to the back. Watch how green it gets back there, but you know, I put it in just to rough it in, and then you put in some more red into that green back there, and they'll just, you know, take the green right out and gray it out a little bit and keep that warmth. Good job on the sides, good light coming in so far, good ideas. Okay, where you want to take it from here, Mike?
I got to start doing I got the block in, I think, but I did not get to all the highlighting. So everything you're saying, kind of tone that green down, work on the altar,
Yeah.
get a little bit more contrast in the pillars.
Okay.
Or, I mean, the benches.
Yeah, the benches. I mean,
So I think, but
otherwise, that's
paint.
really come.
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you. Not sure how to
timing.
put that. I'm not sure how to put that lattice in at the top of the window, but we'll figure that out.
Yeah, you get those straight lines in there, and just make sure you got enough paint left over to, you know, touch it up and stuff and push it around. And I think you'd be fine. I was thinking, kind of looking at the design and thinking that, yeah, they're kind of butterfly-y, you know. So maybe, you know, that might help to, you know, when you do it and stuff, just saves you some time thinking about it. When you put those things in. Okay.
Yep.
Otherwise,
Thanks, Jim.
really good job.
Thanks.
Good job. All right. Let's see. Eva's here. Eva, did you paint?
Yep.
All right. Wow. Good job, Eva. You know, really nice block in. You got some tough things in there. You already got some you got all the hard stuff done on this painting already. I mean, I didn't even tackle the tops of those benches, and you got them in there. Good job. You got one more to put in, but otherwise you're in really great shape. Your colors are working really well. Going back in space, your perspective's not bad. You get that a little bit. You get a little bit of the perspective idea.
I
Okay.
was trying to keep those lines.
It's weird to see how they just line up. Things just line up. It's like magic. And when that happens, it's just like, wow, that's easy. That's pretty, that's pretty simple. But your colors in the front are really good. They're really, I love the way you kept them really dark and saturated. You can still see some richness of color in those guys, and that's what's, just going to pop when you put just those slight markings of the bench of the wood in there. That's going to be just gorgeous and stuff. Good job on that. And the light's starting to come through. Yeah. Yeah. Just like Mike said, the window thing's probably going to be the hardest thing to do. So just make sure you got a little bit of that paint left over, blue paint left over at the end to touch it up.
And I did everything with one brush. And I have to guys show this brush. I bought two for package of two for like $3 in Walmart.
Ah,
They are good.
And it works. I really want to use only one brush today.
Lisa got me a couple of those. Yeah. I just, you wear them out really quick, but they're only a couple bucks.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the beauty of them. Yeah. For especially these smaller paintings and stuff, where you don't have to use the big stuff. Good job.
Thank
Kim,
you.
did you paint?
Yes.
Okay.
Here, let's
Just
get.
checking on you, Kim.
Yeah, I'm just trying to see how to get this without getting more paint all over me. Woo! Almost dropped it.
Oh, no.
Here it comes. Ta-da! There we go.
Oh, good
Nice.
work on that's coming along. I like that a lot. I like the way the transitions of the colors, the oranges into the greens like that. Very rich, really kind of very nice, good impressionistic painting. Yeah, okay. I don't know what to say, Kim. This is, you could have probably done a lot better, I think. I don't know what happened here, on you. I got it. It's not. It's too nice to say anything bad. I'm sorry, Kim. It's really good so far.
Thank you.
I really like it. I'd say just keep going. You are in painting mode.
Where my finger is moving, I took a Q-tip and I wiped paint away to get that effect. But the color that I'm looking at is a more goldy honey color than what I've got on my palette or what's on this canvas. So I'm not entirely sure.
You're gonna have to mix it up. Yeah. That color. Are you talking about the light, or are you looking at you're talking about the wall?
Yeah, even on the wall before you get to the light. Yeah.
Yeah. That needs to be a lot more
red.
Burnt sienna. If you had burnt sienna and played with it, you'd probably be right there.
The problem with the burnt sienna is it's so transparent that it's not actually sticking, if that makes sense.
Just a little cad yellow into it.
Okay.
That has all the
opacity
opaqueness in it. Yeah, they'll have to make the difference.
Okay, that's great.
Okay.
Then. Thank you.
Yeah, you're very close. Congrats. That's a really beautiful painting so far. Don't mess it up. Okay, Sharon.
Well, once again, I can't figure out how to get a good shot from my iPad. Obviously, I didn't solve that problem from last week. I'll post.
What have you been doing? What have you been doing?
I'm waiting for you to give me a critique of last week's work.
I did give you what I said. Finish it.
But anyway, I'll post on Facebook.
Okay, you
Okay.
you get it on Facebook, okay. And I'll critique it like I did the last one.
Okay,
Yeah,
terrific.
I'll get to the other one too then.
Okay, I appreciate it.
Okay. Teresa.
Okay. Good
I
night,
actually got
everyone.
I got a camera if it works. Let's see. How do you get it to
That's
focus?
beautiful. Look at that.
You can't see it.
I know. I know.
How do you get it? How do you get it to work?
Tap on the
Hey.
screen.
Tap on the screen.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what's wrong. Hold on a second.
You got the fuzzy thing on in there.
I got the stupid background blurred, and that's why it's not working. Anybody know how to take that off?
You do that through Zoom?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dang it.
Why don't you figure it out? We'll come back.
Okay.
Tell me when you're ready, we'll come back.
Okay.
There's not too many more people here anyway. I think you are. Who we got? No. We got Kathleen.
Oh,
Kathleen's here.
you don't want to see it.
Yes, we do. Kathleen, you kicked butt on the last one, so if you do
thank
fall
you.
down, that's okay with me.
Well, you know, it always takes me time to bring it around. My colors.
Oh, she put the nun in. Ah!
I had to put her in. I went to parochial school.
You got a finger over it. You got a finger over your lens.
Oh, okay.
You got a big finger there.
Yeah, I do. I don't know. The color needs a lot, but I just need to start blending more. Things.
It's coming along really quick though. Yeah, you're on a little bit of you got a little
green side.
You look like a little green side, but that's okay. Just watch how much light color you have in there. I mean, light white in there.
Okay.
And that keep it grayed out. If it's too
All right.
green, if it's too green, add more red.
Yeah, that's what I started doing around the window because it was really green. But yeah, I'll keep adding.
That's starting to work out. So that's what you have to do. Just keep going like that, and it will come around.
Thanks. Yeah, it needs a lot, but yeah, I think there's hope.
Good job on trying, putting the nun in and stuff too. I like that.
Thanks. Yeah, I had to
let's
do
see.
it.
I know. Let's see how it turns out. If it turns out good, somebody else will do it. We'll get Eva to do it.
Okay.
Somebody will do it. Okay. Let's see if Teresa's ready. Teresa, you ready?
I don't know.
Well, we don't know yet. Here we come. Hey, we got you. We got you.
Alright. But you see, you can't really tell what it looks like.
It's sideways to us.
Yeah.
How'd you get it sideways? You paint sideways?
I'm holding my camera sideways.
Okay.
I'm not tech savvy.
Yeah, it's upside down. You're not tech savvy. There we go. All right, that's good enough. There we go.
But you can't really see the color because the light I'm using washes it out.
Okay. What light are you using?
An art light because it gives you true color when you're painting.
Oh, okay. Just making sure you weren't using something to like a floodlight or anything.
No, maybe that's why my things don't photograph right. But let me just turn this off and see what happens. Too dark, huh?
That's a dark painting anyway.
Well,
Okay,
yeah, but you can't see all the subtleties.
We will see them. Then you take a picture of it and you put it up there when you get it blocked in. Take a picture of it, block, or if you can go as far as you can, and then put it up there, and we'll give you a good critique on it
on Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook.
All
right. Otherwise, I think some of these things are going along really pretty well. So. Okay. Anybody else? Okay. Well, that was good. next week, we will be doing an animal of some sort. It could be a koi. I don't know. It could be kois if I can't, how lazy I get. Or, it'll be, if we could go back and do, what were those, that bird, the crane, sandhill crane. I got a really great shot of one of those. We could do, or, a cow. I don't, chickens
the
too. We
bird.
can do chickens.
Birds, chickens, good.
Chickens, birds,
Pig.
pig.
Oh,
That's a lot of pink.
T-Rex.
T-Rex. That was good.
I vote for the pig too.
You want a pig too?
Yeah.
Oh,
You've never done it.
I know I haven't.
I guess
I'll
pig
look,
it is.
I'll look. I'll take a look, and if I find something, okay, fine. But if I don't, then I get to do whatever I want.
Okay.
Which is what you're gonna do, yeah. Which is fine.
Basically, though, guys, what I'd look for is teaching ideas when I see something that I know, like this one. It doesn't look like very much, but everything else I can teach and talk about perspective because it's very simple and stuff, and colors are interesting. So, and who knows? But that's it. And I appreciate everybody showing up again. And I guess have a great week. And we'll see you all next week.
Bye.
Thank you.
Good night.
Bye, guys.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.